Hey everyone, Don Miguccioni here. We are coming at you from the kitchen again, and we're going to continue to talk nutrition. So recently we talked about hydration and the importance of that. We're going to continue on the topic of fluids, and this is going to be juice for this post, which is another hot topic these days around health and fitness. Um, Juice, is it healthy? Is it good for me? Should I have it? What are the different kinds of juice and ways I should get it? We're going to skim the surface a little bit and give you some information in order to help you make some good choices for you. So, juice. Let's talk about the different ways you can get juice these days. The most popular, you've probably seen in the supermarket, is packaged. So it's ready for you, you pick it up, it's ready to drink, it's good to go. Orange juice, vegetable juice, other fruit juices, juice drinks. So the difference in those can vary quite a bit. So we're going to talk about that. So one of the challenges you run into with any sort of pre-packaged juice is you're potentially subject to marketing to say like this is healthy, this is good for you, this is natural. So there's not really a lot of regulation when it comes to using these type of words. Organic is a word that needs to meet certain criteria to meet, but healthy, all natural, there's a lot of buzzwords people can put into marketing without really have to meeting any sort of criteria to put that on their label. What you want to do though, if you are going to buy something that's pre-packaged, is you want to look at the label like we talked about in a previous post. So you can pick something up here. What you want to look for first and foremost is how much juice is actually in it. So this one here, 6% juice. And you want to read the rest of the ingredients, obviously, because if it's 6% juice, that means there's some other stuff in there. Filtered water, proprietary sweetener, which is stevia leaf extract in this case, coconut water concentrate, natural flavors, which, what is that? Who knows? It doesn't really tell you. Potassium citrate, citric acid. Very important to make sure you read the label and know what you're getting into. So 100% juice is a good place to start from. Is it from concentrate? Is it not from concentrate? So from concentrate meaning frozen and then reconstituted, not from concentrate meaning more fresh squeezed. So we're going to have some example labels of some juice drinks on the blog to take a look at and cross compare and help you make good decisions for yourself in that area. So even if, let's say something's organic, fresh squeezed, 100% natural, vast majority, unless they say otherwise, of juice drink products are going to be what's called pasteurized. So pasteurized essentially means a juice product is heated up and cooked. And there's a lot of important reasons to do that when you're mass producing a product, in particular juice, is it kills any sort of bacteria or harmful microorganisms when you're packaging something and shipping it all over the country to consumers. You don't want any sort of harmful bacteria to be in there. So pasteurization, is it good, is it bad? There's a lot of information out there I'd encourage you to take a look at. What I would encourage you to think about first and foremost is a concept called bioavailability, which we talked about in our multivitamin post. How much of what you're consuming, the nutrients, are actually taken in to your bloodstream and delivered to your cells. That's really the whole point of drinking juice, is to get vitamins and minerals right from the source. So consider that when it comes to pasteurization, that it might affect bioavailability because it's slightly altered and it's not as close to the natural state. So that brings us to fresh juice. So what is the best way to obtain and consume fresh juice? Well, that's something that you're going to have to decide for yourself. We're going to talk a little bit about the most common ways you will get fresh juice. So, real quick, we've got some contraptions over here. We've got a blender, we got a juicer. Juicer, you take whole fruit and vegetable, run it through, comes out the spout. What happens to the rest of it? It gets spit into the back here. The pulp is extracted out, so you're getting really concentrated fresh juice right from the fruit or vegetable. Difference between that and the blender, you take the entire fruit or vegetable, put it in the top. You got to add a little water. If you don't add water, it's going to make a paste. So the main difference between the two is the fiber content. So the fiber from fruit and vegetable, if you run it through a juicer, is spit out the back, and the fiber in the blender drink is right in there. So it really keeps everything together, and it's a good source of dietary fiber. The challenge is, like I said, you've got to add a fair amount of water to make yourself that juice or that blender drink. So you can't necessarily put as many fruits or vegetables into a blender drink as you can into a juicer to get something you can drink realistically, because you put a couple carrots, an apple, you really got to put a lot of liquid in there for the blender to do its thing and get it down. So that's the difference between the two. Dietary fiber in the blender drink, which is a great health benefit, more concentrated nutrients in the juicer. So you don't necessarily have to waste the extracted pulp and fiber. There's a lot of things you can do depending on what it is. You could make vegetable lasagna, you can make bran muffins. There's a lot of things you can do to look it up and make that happen for yourself. If you're getting a lot of dietary fiber and you're confident maybe you don't need the blender drink, or maybe you want to alternate the two, there's a lot of directions you can go with that. So if anyone's interested in a little tutorial on juicing, it's very interesting. So there's a couple do's and don'ts. For example, if you've got a lemon here, you don't want to run the entire lemon through a juicer or into the blender, because you're going to get the peels, and that has a lot of the oils in there that are very bitter and are going to impact that drink. You don't want to do that. So you want to peel anything like an orange, grapefruit, lemon, making sure that you're getting just the juice and not the peels. If you got anything that's small and soft, for example, like a blueberry or a raspberry, you don't really want to run that through a juicer, because the process of that internal centrifuge, you're not really going to get any juice. It's just going to get stuck up and extracted out, and you're not going to get any real juice. So if you're wanting to use blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, maybe you make some juice with carrots or some other fibrous fruits and vegetables, and then you run it through a blender if you want to put some raspberries in there, or you just put them in there, you eat them separately. You get the idea. So there's a lot of different things that you can talk about when it comes to making fresh juice. So in general, fresh is best if it comes to bioavailability. So there are a lot of establishments you can go to get yourself a smoothie or a fresh made wheatgrass juice drink. Those are great. There's ways you can do it right in your own home. You don't need anything too fancy when it comes to a blender drink. Juicers can get a little bit more expensive. However, for the most part, it's very practical when it comes to if you want to make it part of your morning routine, day-to-day routine. So let me know if you want to hear more about juicing, and we'll see you next time.